So here's your forecast for the Northeast, Mid-Atlantic, and parts of the Midwest, and parts of the Ohio Valley, and parts of Central Plains here. We have 30% risk of wind exceeds 50 miles per hour from the Storm Prediction Center latest update, again from Pittsburgh through almost to New York City, through parts of New Jersey, Albany, New York, and surrounding areas, 15% risk. And further to the west here, we have a 5% risk all the way back to Iowa, all the way up towards Bangor, Maine today. Today the risk is quite low, although not zero, anywhere in this area here from Columbus, Ohio to State College to generally Cleveland to Morgantown, West Virginia. There's a 2% chance of a relatively weak tornado, not expecting a strong tornado as of right now. The hail risk is quite large as well. Pretty much encompasses the whole area here of the severe outlook for this area, right? But we have 15% chance of severe hail within 25 miles of a given location in this yellow area here, generally from Fort Wayne, Indiana, back towards Scranton to the Pennsylvania, New York border, generally to the south here, the Pennsylvania, West Virginia border as well. Also included in this is Columbus and Pittsburgh. In today's severe setup, we have a shortwave trough moving through the area today. You can make this out here in the mid-Atlantic, right? And if we look at this real quickly, I just want to show you, you can see the dip in the 500 millibar isobars there. All right. Well, the broader trough out to the west is the HRRR, so it doesn't show a good portion of the rest of Canada and other things. Otherwise, that's what's driving the severe threat for today. As we go through time, you can see 1 p.m. as that belt of northerly flow moves through, more like almost a cold front moving through at this point, with some really impressive forcing as this trough deepens off the eastern seaboard here, almost become negatively tilted here over time. So this is 7 a.m. tomorrow. So this is today. Tomorrow moves further east. So you see what's driving our severe weather for today for the eastern U.S. At the surface, you start your day, you got a low pressure here to the north, pretty weak one that will move to the east here. Maybe some broad, stronger flow associated with it. You see where the surface low is way up here. So not a lot of rotating storms here. More likely linear threat with some maybe potential supercell developing in the southern mode of this. All right, so that's one of the synoptic features we got to keep in mind, that the low pressure is way up here and the best forcing is down here. So if we do get another broad surface low form in the southern mode here, we could get some increasing flow here. Let's take a look at the 850 millibar height contours as we go through the day into the evening hours. This will give us a good indication of the low-level jet, right? Low-level jet really gets going up in this area here, but will be removed from some of the best instability here. So, but we also have some forcing low-level jet ramping up here to in the southern portion of it. So wherever we have this really ramping up here is where the most impactful wind gusts will be. This is your future radar with updraft velocity, right? I'm going to focus this on the northeast. This is Eastern time, the mid-Atlantic. This is 10 a.m. So a few hours from now, about 5 hours from now, Eastern time, showers and storms up to the north here. Some pretty intense cells moving through the Columbus area, Fort Wayne, Indiana this morning. Those move to the south and east, maybe an MCS type feature, 3 p.m. And you get some more storms firing back here in Fort Wayne, Indiana, maybe some supercells. You see the dark areas here, some stronger updrafts. Also back into central Pennsylvania and closer to this mid-level feature and surface low, you get some more convection up here as well. All right, so we're focused back in this area. Pretty intense, different multicellular type storms moving through all the way up into Maine here. You know, into Portland. I don't think up into the Maine by itself we're going to get really severe weather, right? We'll look at some instability with this real quickly. You see, we congeal this into a line here. Eventually, it's a broken line, but with a lot of embedded storms here that could be severe. All right, we'll go over the wind gusts as well with this. Moves to the south and east. Most of them move offshore by midnight or so Eastern. We have some more storms to the west here that may start firing over Indianapolis, Champaign, Illinois, back toward Burlington, Peoria, and to the Harrisburg, PA area. But the main line of storms has already passed through here for the most part, and these have weakened some, and maybe some reinvigoration of convection in the morning hours in the Hagerstown area, Winchester, places like that. So going back to the instability, let's take a look at the mixed layer cape here. Mixed layer cape is a good indication of instability in the atmosphere. This is 8 a.m. Okay. You see the most instability is further to the west here, but the HRRR is showing some instability here just to the east of the Great Lakes, 1 p.m. Okay. As that surface low and mid-level feature moves through, of course, we get some more instability back here where maybe some warmer temps are. Maybe going up to here, instability is sufficient for severe weather. Okay, 1,000, 2,000 joules per kilogram, all the way up to the Canadian border here. So plenty of instability along this line here, right? And that's where your severe axis is today. If you remember, here's your severe weather threat for the day, right? Hail, wind, tornado. So makes sense why we are where we are with that. All right, so moving through time, state instability wanes in the overnight hours. So that's one of the reasons why we lose some of the storm mode, the storm intensity, right? So this is your max hail size according to the HRRR, right? And we go through time. This is through midnight. So the biggest hail is supposed to be, according to models back here in the Ohio Valley, right? And so we go back to the outlooks here, to the hail risk, see why it's centered in this area. So not expecting, you know, like according to this outlook, and it's pretty much on par from what the HRRR is showing, not expecting 2-inch hail, at least at this point. All right. Now, one good indicator for rotating supercells and produce tornadoes is a 0 to 3 kilometer um, cape, right? And when you have values approaching 50, even 100 joules per kilogram, especially up here in the northern area, it's possible, you know, with these values, we could get some rotating storms and form tornadoes here. So that's one part of the picture here, but we look at surface-based convective inhibition. Not too bad, really. Convective inhibition is a way to measure the cap on the atmosphere. So if you have a lot of SIN, which is CIN, convective inhibition, you may not get storms to fire or become surface-based or even do anything at all. So now, lastly, rainfall. To go through the period. Heaviest rainfall expected and just to the north of Indianapolis, south of Fort Wayne here. You know, according to HRRR, we could get 4 or 5 inches of rain centered on Kokomo, Indiana, and some other areas as these storms move to the south and east in the overnight hours. Okay. Also, right along the Canadian border, maybe some heavy rain and parts of the northeast here, but not expecting heavy rainfall, with the exception of central Pennsylvania, back towards Fort Wayne, Indiana, Davenport, and up in the parts of Canada today. So that's all I got for the the Midwest, parts of the, I guess, East Central Plains, the Mid-Atlantic, and Northeast for the severe threat for today.